Hello, welcome. My name is Rich. This is Champions Online. The character I'm playing is Technical Issues, an electricity-powered superhero. We are currently level 27, and we are taking things slow, looking at the stories the game is trying to tell us. And I am either appreciating those stories or criticizing them, sometimes in a balance, in combination. And also just looking at the way that the game is put together a little as well. For example, last time we were playing, there were no vehicles on the roads because they'd all gotten jammed. Around here, I think. So, last time we were adventuring in this sort of zone here in Millenium City, taking on Gadroon disguised as humans, and trying to find Mayor Bazel's daughter, Brianna. We are closer to finding her, I think. Although it's been a while since I've actually done these missions, so I don't know exactly how close we are. I am just heading along to hand in a mission at Synapse, who is this universe's speedster, premier speedster. This is the Champions building, the Champions being the premier superhero team in this universe, much like the Avengers or the Justice League. Kinetic. Did I call him Synapse? That was a mistake. That's a character from City of Heroes. Kinetic, I got it right the second time though, is a speedster who gained his powers in an accident, and sometimes he talks a bit too quickly, as we can see here. Now that Corporal Harrison is back to normal, we should see what else Medusa was up to. So Corporal Harrison met with Medusa, who is a mind control psionic character, some amount of time ago. I don't remember if the game told us exactly. And got mind controlled by her. She spent her time mind controlling him, trying to direct us into traps set by Mind Inc. or PSI. Because we are becoming ever more powerful, and ever more, as a result, a threat to supervillains everywhere. So this is just telling us to go back to Steelhead Base, but we spent quite a lot of time there already, and I don't think that we're going to be going back there anytime soon. I think the next place I want to go after doing things here is Vibora Bay, just so that we've got a bit of variety. We've not been there before. It's sort of like, what's the word of New Orleans, I think it's supposed to be. Not that I'm particularly knowledgeable about New Orleans, and would therefore be able to say, yes, this place is supposed to be like New Orleans, or not. That's just a vague impression that I've gotten. Hey there, Technical Issues. You've done some really great work here in the city, but I know Millenium City is not the only place that could use the services of a hero. Our friends at Steelhead Division in Canada put out the word that they've got more problems than they can handle. Perhaps you'd be willing to travel to the frozen north and lend a hand? Sure. I guess we'll go and do that at some point. Sects and the city. Based off of Medusa's behaviour, I think it's safe to assume that she is directly responsible for Brianna's disappearance. I have a pretty good feeling that if we rough up a few of her goons near Mind Inc., we'll have the evidence we need to find where Brianna Bizel is being held and to keep Medusa locked away for a very long time. I'm sure by now you know where to find PSI agents. Well, in case one of them wiped your memory, you can find them near the offices of Mind Inc., east of City Hall. Thankfully, being players of the game, we are immune to such mind-wiping efforts. So what's this telling me to do over here? Oh yes, that's right. We're supposed to go there to do... well, that's the lead-in for... the witchcraft Clithothic sort of demonic invasion quest line, which is quite long, and I think probably wants its own stream devoted to it, not just trying to do it in amongst all the other things that I might do, or all the other missions that I might do. Just today. Ah, we've found Brianna's sunglasses. Brianna's cell phone? Looks like the game is giving us the option of picking up... Ah, we also got her wallet. So we got all the items that we wanted. Lastly, whilst we're here, we've also got take you to their leader, where we need to find a guy with red and white striped trousers, because he is in fact a disguised Gadroon. The Gadroon being amphibian toad-like aliens who have come to Earth on a couple of occasions before, apparently each time attempting to invade. This is where you go to create a nemesis. I don't think that I want to bother just at the moment, because nemesis missions tend to pop up just whenever you're fighting other people, and that would be a disruption to following the flow of the story and the missions as we pick them up. So we're supposed to come here. But I don't know where... Like, none of these people... That's a pair of... runners, I guess? Maybe they're twins. Who knows? Not wearing very much. We've been directed to come here. It's been ages since I've done this mission as well, so I don't remember exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. What the secret is that they're not telling me. Coming from the Gadroon hideout, northwest of City Hall. Don't have a very keen understanding of human fashion. Red striped pants. So maybe not red and white as I'd thought, but red striped pants. Okay. follow them. Here we see some not very well disguised Gadroon wild fauna life. And then just a Gadroon ship chilling in a garage. Again, not very well hidden. Is this the guy I need? Yes, he's a courier at least. But he's not a Gadroon. Oh yes, I see. Red striped pants. Here's another one. The one that I needed. Splendid. Now I need to come here, enter the Gadroon warehouse. It's very convenient that they were able to find a place with a hatch into a huge underground location such as this. Although quite how they managed to get these ships in through the doors, I don't know. They are supposed to be masters of gravity technology, and they can teleport and create gravitic singularities, so maybe they can shrink ray their own tech. I guess that's probably valid. I think he's the last one. And given that he's 7 levels below us, I don't think it'll be a very tough fight. No, there we go. How much else is there? I mean, there's finding Brianna and rescuing her, but I don't know how much else there is. The auction lot sold. Nice. Alright, technical issues. The name of the game is Contain and Capture. Millennium City is in danger, and folks like me and you are here to make sure nobody gets hurt, except for the bad guys, of course. Thank goodness, technical issues. When you defeated that invasion leader, you did not just save Millennium City. You might have saved the entire world. They're awfully free with that claim, aren't they? We heard basically the same thing when we stopped the invasion leader in Canada as well. And I don't know that it's really true. I mean, somebody else could have managed it as well, but if we just take the game's word for it, that's twice that I have saved the world. So I can put that on my hero resume. Excellent work, technical issues. With this evidence, we will be able to take down Psy and their fake company, Mind Inc. at last. Call on Beck. You probably know just about everybody in Millennium City, don't you, technical issues? Well, tell me, have you met Michael Scott Beck yet? He's one of Millennium City's most tenacious journalists. He's got a knack for snooping out the big stories, and for getting into trouble. Maybe you can lend him a hand as he investigates his latest scoop. You can find him southwest of Argent HQ. Ah, okay, so we can move on to doing Argent stuff for a while here as well. And this is the last of the Psy missions for now as well, I think. Your work on that last mission was impeccable, technical issues. With the evidence you've uncovered, we've been able to pin Brianna Bizel's kidnapping directly on Psy and their leader, Simon. And we already know that Mind Inc. is just a cover organisation for Psy, that a cover organisation Psy is using for recruitment. Since it's the mayor's daughter, we were able to get a warrant for the arrest of Psy, everyone affiliated with the organisation and their supervillain leader, Simon. The mayor has asked for you, by name, to see to it that Simon and company are taken down personally. Of course, your highest priority is to rescue Brianna, with her mind intact. Comes as no surprise to us that Psy had kidnapped her to try and brainwash her for use against her father. Head over to Mind Inc. and give them a special delivery of swift justice. Swished justice. So, yes, that's the next contact I mentioned last time, or the time before. Flew down near him, pointed him out. But for now, we are going into... So there's two buildings here at Mind Inc. Last time, we entered this one, the northernmost building, the one on the right hand currently, because that's where Medusa was. This time, I believe we are entering this building. Yep. This is a splash screen of Snake Gulch, where we've spent a lot of time. I do wonder about an organization entirely made of men who all wear pink. It's rather like the Cobra Lords, which is another gang entirely made up of men, all of whom dressed as bikers this time instead of whatever this is supposed to be. Some of whom's names, like, so this is a Mind Inc. neophyte. And that's a Proctor. You fight Proctor. Hypnotist. So, different enemies with different abilities have different names to help differentiate them. And all of the Cobra Lords have animal names, like Scorpion, or Bear, or Bronco. No Otter, although I'm sure that that's not a deliberate aversion. I think it's just coincidence. But just the fact that they're all dressed like bikers and some of their members are named Bears has led me to assume that Frank Zaretti, the leader, is probably bi, because when we break him out, when we don't break him out, when we go to the jail in Millenium City, during the breakout that's happening there, we find him hitting on Zoe Loft, who is a kind of insane evil genius punk clown inventor and leader of another gang in West Side, the Maniacs. So probably inaccurate to accuse, or not accuse, that's an unfavorable way of thinking of things, isn't it? It could be performative straightness, but then he doesn't have an audience. It's just him and Zoe Loft and the superhero in the cell, and I don't know that he can be considered to have noticed the superhero, because when they notice you, they attack. And before that, or until that happens, they have a little bit of conversation. So I'm going to assume that Frank Zaretti is bi, but leaning towards gay, because he's got all of his gang members dressed up in biker outfits, sometimes, well, quite often bare-chested with just a vest over. And because it amuses me. From the Journal of Dennis Perkins, my plan to kill Slug failed. I barely escaped, but if I live 1,000 years, I don't think I'll ever forget what I saw today. Slug was transforming humans, transforming them into elder worms. They had devices that could activate ancient DNA inside us. Ancient DNA that they'd implanted into the human genetic code eons ago. I saw them do it with my own eyes, and I went to confront Slug. It was horrible. I've had another realization. All these years I believed Slug was the elder worm responsible for killing my brother, but now, after seeing that transformation, I'm beginning to think Slug may actually be my brother. Well, I suppose that's a reasonable assumption. Oh yes, we're actually supposed to do something here, aren't we? I've been playing my main, and he's got a player-based AoE attack on key 4, so I flew up next to them and pressed 4, expecting telekinetic blades to spring from my fists and start spinning round, but that didn't happen. Which is why I was stood there, well, floating there, looking a bit sheepish, charging up chain lightning. Now, this is Simon. And before we pull him, we'll open the info page so that we're not trying to read his info during a fight, which happened last time whilst I was fighting quite a difficult enemy, Viper X, who took me down. Brianna looks like she's struggling, and probably she is, but she'll be fine for as long as we hang out here. She won't get mind-controlled or anything. Or turned against us. Simon Bell was just a college student at the University of Maryland with an unfortunate tendency towards migraine headaches when Psy found him. More precisely, Sebastian Poe, the scientist and founder of that villainous organization, found him. Simon's headaches were giving those around him waking nightmares, which Poe suspected were the results of psionic manifestation. Sure enough, Poe was right, and Simon indeed had psionic powers. Thanks to Poe's methods, Simon began to hone and develop his innate abilities. He was not only telepathic, but telekinetic as well. With his own intelligence and Poe's clever guidance, he became one of Psy's greatest successes, as well as Poe's second-in-command. And then teamed up with Medusa, who at the time was dating... Sebastian Poe. They overthrew him. Which is why Kevin Poe, leader of the New Purple Gang, hates Psy and Mind Inc. I wonder why he's chilling there. Is he having a massage? Getting some kind of IV treatment? Anyway. Let's zoom in. There we go. She'll find a way out on her own. No special information here, just Brianna Bizzell, citizen, level 21. And then we can leave through here. Well, it's odd that it has the interact bar to leave through that door. I think that's usually what happens. Anyway. Back to kinetic. And I think that's all the missions we have from Kinetic. Technical issues. The mayor is so happy to have his daughter Brianna back. Please accept this item as a token of his gratitude and appreciation for everything you've done for Millenium City. We are truly lucky to have a great superhero such as yourself working thanklessly day and night to protect the citizens of Millenium City. Again, thank you so very much, Technical Issues. I don't know that I'm working thanklessly day and night. Neither of those things are true. I'm frequently thanked. And I'm definitely not doing it day and night. I mean, I suppose we're coming towards evening now. This is a surprisingly small amount of light pollution for a city this populated. We can see the stars. Anyway. Michael Scott Beck. So, technical issues. What's the scoop? I'm an investigative reporter, and I'm onto a big story here. I know it. Great to see you, Technical Issues. I'm onto a great story, a big story, and I just know you can help me get to the truth. Yeah. I don't know whether that's deliberate or not, because the writing of the game has tended towards a little shoddy in places. Not just in terms of like overall theme, but also like grammatically. Let's find out a bit more information about him. Hard-hitting investigative reporter who's been digging into Argent's affairs and has made a lot of powerful corporate enemies around the way. There, that should be along the way, shouldn't it? Just a handy example. Beck doesn't care who he angers, though, as long as he gets to the truth. I wonder who he's supposed to be a stand-in for. If he's supposed to be a stand-in for anybody. Oh, okay, so this is exactly the same information. Sometimes it isn't. Prince Violent. Argent's received a big government contract to add a new high-security wing to Stronghold's supervillain prison in the southwestern desert. Argent has offered these schematics up to the highest bidder, and that's Viper. Some of their agents are meeting in the Argent corporate headquarters to make a deal to get those schematics. Until has a mole inside Argent, Major Bonilla. He'll help you infiltrate Argent HQ, but then it's up to you to stop the handoff between Viper and Argent. I suppose it could be. I don't know that it's all deliberate. I really don't think that mistakes like that are deliberate. Like, they are going for a pulpy feel. It's definitely supposed to feel like Silver Age comics. But I mean, maybe in this case the accidents just help the aesthetic. I just got a call from my undercover source at Argent. Psy is attacking Argent headquarters and they are out for blood. Look, you know I've got no love for Argent, but I'd rather see them behind bars than in graves. Technical issues. Can you get over to Argent HQ and stop this attack by Psy before it gets tragically out of hand? Major Bonilla, my Argent mole, will get you in. So, Major Bonilla of Argent is hanging out outside the building. And each time you do one of these two different missions, he gets you into, I think, a different part of the building, which I suppose makes sense from a gameplay perspective, but I kind of wish that, I mean, it makes things easier, certainly, but I kind of wish that they'd done it so that the entirety of or a huge amount of the inside of the building was all connected, and you could do both missions at the same time whilst you were going around inside the building. I am determined to get to the bottom of Argent's dirty operations. They pretend to be a legitimate corporation, but I know they are up to no good. I believe they are doctoring their corporate reports, so I want to intercept the actual reports as they are delivered to two of Argent's highest level employees, Dr. Victor Hopewell and Lucinda Sadler. The couriers are leaving from Argent HQ and heading out from there. One courier goes north, another goes west, and the last goes east out of the Argent HQ. So this one should be fairly easy. Yeah, Argent. Oh, they're threatening a civilian named Lawanda. Let's rescue her. Ah, excuse me, technical issues, but I just saw some robots sneak into that building over there. Please check it out. This tends to happen at random. Which building? It's probably going to be one of these, isn't it? Though I'm not sure which one, because we'd already picked up a couple. Probably Formula 1 Chaser, because that's the highest level one. We'll probably go over and do those as well, but these missions are just random. They don't have any story to them, really. Ooh, a bank robbery! That's definitely something a superhero should help out with, isn't it? They came out of nowhere. It was just a typical day here at the bank, and the next thing we knew, the maniacs barge in and start robbing the place. Several people have been taken hostage, and their leader, Maniac, is in the vault. Please save the hostages and get the maniacs out of our bank. I've read in several places that robbing banks is actually a terrible idea in terms of trying to acquire money illegally, because banks don't keep very much money on hand in general. Apparently the thing to do is to steal jewellery, particularly diamonds. Although it all depends on whether you've got a fence who can get rid of the items for you. I think the only time you would want to rob a bank is if there was a safe deposit box with something that you actually wanted in it. These guys have they've got chains around them, which gives you a clue. But they've got a chain attack, which, when I say a chain attack, it launches a chain at you and pulls you towards them, which renders you stun locked briefly, and is quite irritating. Which is why I blocked him specifically. Usually, I mean, that's another example of something that I would block, but usually I don't bother when they're such low level compared with us. Oop, hello. Because even their charge up special attacks that give them special, like, Adam West Batman bubbles, sound effect bubbles, don't really do very much. So these are all maniacs. They probably are functionally maniacs, but they are also members of the Maniacs gang, led by Zoe Loft, who I mentioned earlier. Now, I'm not an expert on the construction of banks, but this seems like they've taken some creative license. Like, particularly here, when do you have two enormous bank doors that lead to a series of plush, well, I say plush offices that are reasonably well appointed for the location, and a waiting area? Ah, here we are. I was wondering whether we'd see him. Nighthawk? Question mark? Is this Nighthawk? I doubt it. Nighthawk doesn't have glowing eyes. He's Nighthawk is a Batman stand-in, more or less. I mean, I suppose in some versions Batman tends to have, wait, not exactly glowing eyes, but you can certainly see them when he's in the dark. You can see his white eyes. I don't think that I'd call them glowing, though. But they definitely aren't red. And nor are Nighthawks. Don't know what that is. Don't want to find out. He's using fire. That's definitely not Nighthawk. He's dressed up kind of like Nighthawk. And that didn't give us any information either about, like, who that just was. Why they're here. This would ordinarily be a bad idea because there's quite a few cyborgs here. And they're quite powerful. But, well, there's 3, which is usually more than you would want to take on. But, owing to the fact that I am deliberately over-leveled, to make this easier, so that I don't have to concentrate as much on playing. It's not a problem. Courier? It is. Splendid. And it's a different one because he's got a different health bar. Cool. Just need one more. It's a big building. And it's actually got a label on it this time. They don't always. That was weird. I think I was just outside the correct range, and the game wasn't quite sure whether it should count me as being in range or not. And so it made them do the electrified dance. Without actually damaging them. There's another courier, and he's a different one again this time, so that's the last one I need, I assume. Yes, splendid. Now we can get broken into Argent's headquarters several different ways, several different times. For shits and giggles. Ooh, crafting node. Hey there, did Beck send you? Major Vanilla is an until mole within Argent. He sometimes provides information to Michael Scott Beck when his superiors can't get things done fast enough. Enter... Let's do silent but deadly first, shall we? They're both entering Argent HQ, but as I mentioned, they're, I don't know, different parts of the building, except this is another one of those games where interior maps are way bigger than the exteriors of the buildings that they're supposed to happen inside of. And I suppose in this case you probably could make a convincing argument for it happening underground. But there's... I think the other mission, not this one, you come across helicopter hangars inside, and I refuse to believe that those are several floors underground. Because that's just stupid. Don't hurt me, technical issues, please. This is all just a terrible misunderstanding. Info. Evan Fox is here because Argent has kidnapped a powerful protopath and needs your help. There are no more Psi past this point, so we won't be bothering you anymore. Brain engage. I know you've had your trouble with Psi in the past, but we're not the enemy, at least not this time. I've basically dismantled Psi like 20 minutes ago. But sure, I suppose it's diplomatic for him to say, I know we've had our troubles in the past, because I'm clearly more than capable of taking him out just if I feel like it. We were just trying to rescue one of our own, a member of Psi, and a girl with very special mental powers. Her name is Adina Monroe, and she is a protopath, able to shape reality with her thoughts. Those rats at Argent found out about her and kidnapped her. They want to warp reality to a world where Argent is ruler of all things, so they hooked Adina to a machine designed to amplify her powers and put her on psychotropic drugs in order to control her. What those fools don't know is that Adina is resisting on a subconscious level. If she is not freed from Argent's control, she will soon emit a psychic explosion that threatens not just to reshape all reality, but destroy it. Please, technical issues, you need to free that kidnapped Psi protopath before it's too late. Why wouldn't you tell Argent that that's what's happening? Like, maybe they wouldn't believe you, but you should really warn them. Oops, he's just removed my flight ability from me. That's annoying. Now, I've said before that it's possible to recreate almost all the appearances you find in the game, and these are some that I don't think you can recreate. At least not the head and the arms. Not that I've seen. Which sucks, because those things look really cool. But... oh well. Maybe they were intending to include that stuff later and never got around to it. So I did a bit of research between now and last time, and so Cryptic, whose name is on the front when you load up the game, made the game. They actually developed it, although it was published by Atari. But they weren't really running it very well. certainly weren't able to make enough money from it to keep it going. And so now it's Perfect World Entertainment who run the game and keep the servers going and so on. And they're the ones responsible for putting lockboxes into the game. And I don't know, because I've only done the most cursory of research, but I think that they probably haven't added very much to the game since. I mean, they've added costume parts for filler content for the lockboxes, but they haven't added any new enemies, I don't think, or any new content in missions to the game. So they'd be the ones to petition, I suppose, if anyone were interested in trying to get things added to the game. Are all of these things happening in the same map? Yes, they are, aren't they? We're apparently supposed to be on a different floor, and we just travelled from here, between these two huge turbine things, to here instantaneously. Is all this stuff supposed to be? And how do they move it around? Like, I mean, I guess they've got robots, but they don't have any, like, forklift trucks or anything. That's weird. They don't have any different information for the enslaved Manimal, because it's a part of Argent, as compared with like what we'll see later when we go to Monster Island, and what those actual Manimals have for their information. We found our person, Adina Monroe, but the game's not over, or the mission's not over just yet. We've still got a bunch to do. Attempt to power down the computer, but received a warning that doing so could produce a backlash of neural feedback so intense it could wipe all Millenium City off the map. Examining the computer, you see a map of Adina Monroe's psychic landscape, which is where her subconscious has retreated. It was originally a picturesque park where Adina had some of her happiest memories. The park is now corrupt, a twisted version of what it once was. You know that if you are not able to save this powerful young protopath, the corruption seen in this mental memory will soon be mirrored in reality, and it will only spread. Quickly, you reprogram the computer to create a portal into Adina Monroe's psychic landscape, where, of course, I mean, why wouldn't this be something that any computer available would immediately be capable of doing? This is a superhero universe, after all. This is just the sort of thing that happens. Quickly, you reprogram the computer to create a portal into Adina Monroe's psychic landscape, where you must defeat some of her nightmare creations and eventually face an astral aspect of Monroe. This aspect has been driven to madness by Argent's cruelty and mental manipulation, and you must defeat it if you have any hope of restoring Adina Monroe to sanity. That sounds enormously risky. Why is she on a bed and not a medical gurney? Okay. Nighthawk, Red Serpent. I think I was going to go through all of them and try and name them, but the game loaded faster than I expected. This is basically just the park. There's Mind Inc. HQ there. Over here somewhere, there would be the City Hall. Where's the Argent building? Oh, behind us, here. I don't remember whether these guys are respawning or not. And I also don't think that they come running if you attack the final enemy in the area, which does happen in some cases. They all just come running. So oh, we're actually supposed to defeat a bunch of them. Okay. Previously when I've done this, I've just gone through defeating all of them because sources of XP. But I had thought, for the sake of brevity, that I would be able to just go straight for rescuing Adina's psyche, but it looks like I am actually supposed to go around beating these guys up. Well, I say beating. Electrocuting them. Quite how all this is supposed to work psychologically speaking, I couldn't hazard to guess. And it is also very interesting that her nightmares all take the form of members of Psi. Which suggests that they may not have treated her very well. You should not have come here. This is my place of power. I don't care if you work for Argent or Psi. I'll destroy you. I am the hate and fear of Adina Monroe made manifest, and I am your doom. Adina Monroe is a protopath, able to reshape reality itself. She has been working with Psi to learn to control her powers. When word of her abilities was leaked to Argent, they kidnapped her, drugged her, and used her to try and rewrite the world. Lucky for us that we've just destroyed all of her hate. Oh, her hate and her fear. So, this weird person who's just intruded deep into her mind is not going to get a negative reaction. You saved me. Thank you. I'm so sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry Argent took control of my mind, so I retreated deep within my subconscious. Without even knowing it, I lashed out and started transforming reality. I would have destroyed everything, including myself. You saved me, Technical Issues, even though Psi is one of your sworn enemies, and you've shown me what it means to be a hero. I'm never going to forget what you did today, Technical Issues, and the bravery you've shown. I'm going to restore this park back to the way it's supposed to be, and I'm going to ditch those losers in Psi and start using my powers for good. And that's exactly the same information as before. So I think we can just leave. And probably it can be assumed that we help her get out. Why am I here? Oh well. Let's come back over here. And do that other mission. Oh hey. The crafting node is recharged. Or respawned. Have we done that one already, haven't we? Haven't we done silent but deadly? Yeah, it's been removed. Let's just enter the normal Argent HQ then. Wanted to check and see whether they had any different information, but apparently not, which is a shame. Does he have any different information? No, he doesn't even have any extra, like, hints on how to deal with him. It's just exactly the same bog standard. Watch out for Argent. They're a bit naughty. So this is the way up to the next floor. I think that the mission refers to them as first floor, second floor, and third floor. And here we are inside. Oh, I suppose there's a big hatch in the ceiling. But still, like, each floor is laid out more or less the same way. And as a result, each floor has a helicopter hangar. And yeah, here we are. This is the first floor, and we'll go to each of these and find a bunch of helicopters. So 2, 4, 6, 9, 15 helicopters. Of some design. I know even less about helicopters than I do about cars. So that's Stronghold schematics. So we've done the mission, but we did also just get a scrawled note. In the Stronghold blueprints you received, you noticed a scrawled note. It reads, "Help me. My name is Professor Maxwell Wainwright, inventor of the hot sleep technology used by Stronghold Prison to keep their most dangerous and uncontrollable prisoners in an induced coma. Argent has kidnapped me and is keeping me on the second floor in a holding facility, forcing me to work on designs for an improved hot sleep chamber, which will actually increase the power of the villains who sleep in them. I've been trying to stall Argent, but they are becoming increasingly impatient. Please, somebody help me, before it's too late." Oh no, just realised I've also got a couple of other quest-giving items in here as well. Popping the clasp on Brianna's private diary, you thumb to the very last entry. 3/17. Presumably 09? Because that's when this game was made. "I really don't know what Aris' problem is. He's so stubborn, I swear. Janine was so right. I should have listened to her when she said that Viper was nothing more than a group of criminals. Why Aris would ever turn to something so evil, I'll never know. I really do miss him, and it hurts so much, but I can never be with someone that would cause people harm. The last letter he wrote me said his outfit was being moved to the southwest side of city centre to help out with some strange psionic thing called Project Snowjob, whatever that means. So long as Aris Iliopoulos is working for Viper, I'll never let him into my life again. Brianna, don't forget to schedule lunch with Janine for next Tuesday." And also, this letter is an invitation for media mogul Sherman Adair to come to Argent's newly opened hunting preserve on Monster Island, which promises a hunting experience unlike any other. Which doesn't paint things very well for access code for floor 1. I'm already on floor 1. Doesn't paint things very well for German. What was his name? Sherman Adair, that's the one I thought. I thought that was his name, but I couldn't quite remember, despite just having read it. Now, I realise according to the map there's another hangar behind this door, but what we're actually looking at, the game assures us, is an elevator. And we have entered this room. It always amuses me how these patrols just don't notice. What's this all supposed to be about? It amuses me when patrols don't notice that their friends have been taken out. Like, they were easily within earshot and definitely within sight of me just zapping these guys into unconsciousness. And they were like, well, that looks like a bad time, and it's not technically within our patrol route, so I think we'll leave it alone. Oh yes, this is one of those very long missions that doesn't have an exit once you're at the end of the final room. So once I'm done, as memory serves, I'm going to have to come all the way back through each of these, which will just be tedious. Let's see what information we've got on him. Not very much. Thank you for rescuing me. Technical issues. Thank you for saving me. Professor Wainwright is the genius inventor of the hot sleep chambers used to keep paranormal beings safely stowed in Stronghold. Okay. Argent was determined to get those hot sleep redesigns out of me, and I don't think I would have been able to hold out much longer. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. One guy in particular, Supervisor Guillory, seems determined to use this government contract to help Stronghold prisoners escape. He's overseeing this operation. He's the guy that got the contract in the first place. He's not going to stop what he's doing until somebody stops him, and I'm afraid that somebody needs to be you. Well, I mean, sure, it's definitely a worthy thing. A worthy cause. I really need more recovery so that my equilibrium is higher. And my energy reserves are just... at the moment, they're kind of crap. It's slowing me down. Ah, ambushes. I didn't realise, or didn't remember that Argent had any of those. So it was just a counter agent running around on his own for no reason. Do helicopters need 5 blades? I thought it was 3 or 4, or sometimes 2. I suppose then it would depend on how much lift is required. Does this guy have any different information? No. That's annoying. You little insect, how dare you interfere with the great the great Supervisor Gilroy. He's already given the game away. So, Supervisor Guillory is being mentally possessed by Menton. All my planning and scheming, I will not see it ruined by a bumbling do-gooder. Well, you're in luck. I am not bumbling. Just another critter, move along. It's interesting that even the game, or rather the game is breaking the fourth wall to make us believe that Menton's psychic powers are this powerful. You've defeated my mind-controlled pawn, technical issues. You will regret interfering in the affairs of the mighty Menton. I don't think I will. Confined in Stronghold, I'm only able to communicate with you via this crude mental projection. My shackles may keep me from harming you, but one day I will be free of them, fool. And on that day, my first order of business will be to destroy you. Okay. Come find me when you want a beatdown. I'm happy to hand them out free of charge. What's the way out again? Right. The one with the door rather than open doorway. Was I supposed to hand in that quest with him? Let him know. Because if it had turned out that I was supposed to hand in the mission with him, I would have to have come back all the way through. No, good. Okay. So, I think we're supposed to assume that he gets out, or that he leaves with us, probably. But, yeah, he's still hanging out there. For no good reason. Oh yeah, this has respawned again. Let's grab it. Fantastic work, technical issues. All I expected out of you was to get those blueprints, but you've managed to achieve so much more. I would love to stay here and sing your praises, but I need to get on the phone with Warden Wildman at Stronghold and warn him about what Menton is up to. Well, that's difficult to believe when you just stand here all the time, but okay. Excellent technical issues. You really saved Stronghold and the rest of us from a lot of future problems by recovering these schematics. And then exposing Argent. Thanks so much, technical issues. These reports will prove that Argent has been cooking their books. It's true what they say. If you want to root out corruption in a corporation like Argent, the best way to do it is to follow the money. And then, so we've got, yes, X and violence. That's the one. We've got one more mission here. And then I think we'll go to Vibora Bay, because there's just like one arc of missions there. And then we could go to Monster Island, because that is telling us to we've got a mission telling us to go there, basically, or at least we intercepted an invitation for this guy, who, despite being super busy, is still chilling out here. Oops. Or claiming to be super busy when we talk to him. He's still chilling out there. But I don't know. I think we can probably just do all of Monster Island in one go. Like, we don't have. If we go there, we can stay there and just do the entire island. So I feel like yeah, maybe we should go do that. Actually, thinking about it, just go to a Monster Island, do everything there, then come back and do Southwest Desert and Canada. Viper recruit and ex-boyfriend of Brianna Bazell. Now I wonder whether doing this will kill him. No, apparently not. Good. That's handy. Brianna? She dumped me after she found out I joined Viper. I didn't even tell her, but somehow she knew. It was like she had mental powers or something. To be honest, I think it was for the best. I haven't spoke to her since she gave me the boot. Sorry, superhero, that's all I know. And I gotta get going before someone sees me talking to you. Why are we just leaving him to remain a member of Viper? Like, Viper is a known terrorist organization. Why are we letting him continue to work with them? Well, if Aris and Brianna did break up when she found out he was with Viper, then it seems Madeline Bell gave us some bad information. That just means we must redouble our efforts to find the mayor's missing daughter before any harm comes to her. That's some interesting information about Brianna potentially having psychic powers, though. I wonder if there is some connection to Psy. Almost certainly. And because we've managed to finish that, we've done all the missions with Psy. Okay, let's do these 3. And then talk to whatever his name was. I'm terrible with names. Especially actual human names, not superhero nom de plumes. Nom de plumes? I guess that would probably be correct. Was it 5? You know, I'm surprised there never are any missions that take us aboard the downed ship. I mean, there's any number of things I could come up with just off the cuff that a superhero could be doing there. Like maybe Primus or Until is unloading technology or researching the ship's systems and they need a guard. Or maybe some supervillain group has broken in and are trying to restart the ship or steal parts and we need to go and stop them. The destroyer bots have assembled some bombs capable of destroying human life without causing damage to any machinery or building materials. You have to disarm the bombs before they go off. Yeah, that does sound pretty bad. Although, actually, what it sounds like to me is exactly the sort of thing that the military would want. Also, why is there a huge military base with non-obviously mothballed vehicles? How are you supposed to hold those handlebars? Beneath the city. Like, do these lead to ramps up? Away from, up to the surface? Some homemade explosive. I don't think that they count as homemade. Like, even if they're constructed of parts that are available for easy purchase, relatively easy purchase, they're robot made, not homemade. Some homemade explosive. I don't feel like that's an accurate. And there's just tanks chilling out underneath the city for no reason. Good work. You destroyed destroyers' robots and made the world a safer place. Neither of these are exits. I'm gonna have to fly all the way back through. Although, to be fair, there is only 2 rooms in this mission, so it's not a huge deal. I still wish that they would put exits into the final room of missions, because that just makes life so much easier. I don't know who this is supposed to be. Or this. You read in the paper just the other day that a local research firm just discovered a new process for making super light, super strong metal. You bet those robots that snuck in here are Dr. Destroyer's destroids looking for that formula. You'd better collect all the laptops you can find and get them to safety. Yes, sure. That's what I'm going to be doing with them. A laptop with a carry handle and a CD drawer. Yes, we see lots of those these days, don't we? That's clearly a laptop. And the mission said I was supposed to pick up all the laptops that I could find. Apparently I'm not allowed to interact with this one. Cool. They obviously didn't give this very much thought, did they? I just want to be thorough because those laptops are quite small. And it would be a real pain to miss one. Oh, hello, what's this? That's unusual, having each of them be a drop, or leave a drop. There's another one. And there's another one here. I'm missing one. Ah, there we are. Really very thankful that that wasn't hiding somewhere stupid. Good work. You destroyed destroyers' robots and made the world a safer place. Apparently. I mean, sure, I'll believe it in this case, but... I mean... The previous mission where there were bombs that could go off and destroy organic matter but not infrastructure was kind of a bigger deal, I feel. Let's hop on the jet bike and zip over across the city. Also got points to spend. What should I spend them on? I don't think I want to buy any of those things just yet. So let's leave them for next time. Demon kidnapped some researchers and is holding them in this warehouse until they can be taken back to one of their bases. Save the researchers from Demon's clutches. And you can tell that it's an organization because it's in an acronym, because it's in all caps. And I think this is the first time we've met people from Demon. not counting actual demons. Practitioners of the black arts and devotees of dark magic, Demon is the largest and most dangerous occult organization in the world. Demon is a secret society with a rigid hierarchy, whose ultimate goal is to free the dread kings of Edom. So Demon's leader, the diabolical Luther Black, can ascend to one of the Edomic thrones. Dark enchantments empower the melee weapons of this obscene occultist. I don't know that I would describe him as obscene. Tacky, certainly. Badly dressed. If he had his dick out, then I would call him obscene. Do I actually need to speak to him? Apparently so. And then he just teleports away. Now I only need to rescue 3 researchers. That's going to make things easier. Oh, an initiate. That's different. Watch out for the ranged attacks from this wand-wielding witch or warlock. Okay. Up until now, it's all been brothers. I doubt that they're literally brothers. It's probably a pact or something. Oh, okay, there we go. I was going to say I don't think we need to talk to him, but we do. Once he's finished cowering. And then he's away. Quite what they were researching was that an arcane society decides they want their help, or well, their expertise. I don't know about help. Help, I think, implies giving consent. Just find out if there are any more. I don't think so, because this is the room we started in. Yeah, see? Look. How the fuck am I supposed to leave this when the door that I was just standing outside next to leads here? What's going on with that? Was anybody thinking about how this space fitted together? But I'm not close enough, apparently, to qualify it as being near enough to the door that I can use the exit button. So like this is the thickness of 2 walls just here. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's fucking weird. Okay, we're done now. Oops. I don't think we need to hand that in anywhere. It was just, hey, cool, you're done. So let's go to Monster Island. Monster Island, incidentally, is also the place from which you access Lemuria, which is this world's version of Atlantis. I think. Pretty sure. So, do we go Monster Island, then Lemuria, then come back? I don't know. Be interesting to see whether I can mount my electric scorpion when I'm underwater in Lemuria. So, technical issues, what's the scoop? I'm an investigative reporter, and I'm onto a big story here, I know it. And an invitation. Whoa, check this out, technical issues. This is going to be a big deal, and somebody from Primus should really take a look at this. Could you run this over to Primus Silver Agent, Matey Sanchez, for me? She could do more with this info than I can. Just don't show it to any other reporters. This is my exclusive. Okay, I don't know any other reporters. Oh no, that's not true. I know Julie Morgan, don't I? And I suppose that I technically know Rob Mahogany, and I saved him at least. Don't know whether that counts. But I really doubt that the option would even be there if I went and spoke to her to tell her about... Let's try it, just on the off chance, to see whether Cryptic thought of it. I mean, I doubt it, but let's find out whether Cryptic thought I might decide as a player to go and tell Julie Morgan, the only other reporter in the city, about this. You know, my editors tell me not to get involved. As a crime reporter, I'm just supposed to report stories, but can I help it if I care too much? How am I supposed to remain objective when West Side criminals are taking over the streets? No, I can't tell her. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't tell her about... You know, I think there's a mission with a policeman around here. I have vague memories of meeting just a wandering police officer somewhere around here and having him ask me to help him as he goes about his patrol. But they might have removed him, or he's gone on his patrol and gotten taken out and not respawned yet. Anyway, let's go talk to Sanchez and head along to Monster Island. Oops. Bounced off the telephone pole. I better run this up the chain to my superiors. I've heard some disturbing rumours about what's going on in Monster Island. You know, one of these days you might want to check into it. Not now, of course. We need you right here, continuing your good work in Millenium City. Well, I've done my stuff in Millennium City for now. Thanks for finding this technical issues. We can pass this info on. And now I should be able to just go along to Monster Island. Yeah, there we go. And this is something taking place on Monster Island. Because this is a dude.
The planet Earth offers boundless wonders and endless challenges. But is any place more wondrous and treacherous than Monster Island? It's lush with natural beauty and rampant with unnatural threats. It's a strange land of long-buried mystery. A savage place where giant monsters roam and rule. Bureau 17 and Until try to keep the peace, but it's not that easy. The Madman Moreau has a lab here, where he creates new genetic abominations. Viper has a nest here, where they plot new atrocities. And the ancient Lemurian temple of Andrith the Golden is here, where dangerous, long-buried secrets await rediscovery. Here, on Monster Island, the only true law is the law of the jungle, where only the strong survive. On Monster Island, there's nowhere to run. The only option is to fight. My name is Ironclad. I'm a member of the Champions. And though I come from a planet in a faraway galaxy, Earth is my home now. That home is in danger from deadly menaces that plot and scheme in the isolation of Monster Island. Our very existence is at stake. I'm going to need your help.
Character model frozen in an awkward pose there. So, entering this sub, well, I think you need a mission for it first, but entering this sub is the means by which you access Lemuria. But this is Monster Island. The missions take you from here around this area, down, and then up and around here. Although, when I've done this, I've really only gotten about as far as here. Maybe doing a couple of missions here. I haven't done the whole island before. Greetings, Earthling. I never tire of the wonders your planet holds. Monster Island, in particular, fascinates me. There are so many great opportunities to prove yourself in glorious battle. Okay, so this might actually be a challenge for us, as these are 2 and 3 levels above our current level. Real name Drogan La, Ironclad is a native of the planet Dorvala, a space marine whose body was turned into metallic alloy as part of a military experiment. Drogan escaped to Malva, where he went on to become one of the greatest of all interstellar gladiators. His galactic travels led him to Earth, where he found the people of the planet to be both intriguing and honorable. He assumed the name Ironclad and has become a superhero, eventually joining the super team known as the Champions. His most recent adventures bring him to Monster Island, a corner of the world fraught with new challenges and danger. I appreciate you making the journey to Monster Island to assist us to technical issues. However, it would not be fair to monopolize your talents with so much chaos in the world. Ravenspeaker has contacted me about a growing evil in Canada. He desires your assistance when you can take a break from your work here. Ravenspeaker has projected an astral version of himself to the site of the disturbance in Burial Butte, just north of Teleos's tower. He asks that you meet him there. I mean, okay, I guess we'll take that. But we won't be going and doing it for a while. So let's hide it. Sigh of relief. I guess that's picking up mind control devices, isn't it? That's a repeatable quest. So let's hide it. Hide that. Hide that. And hide that. So let's pick up missions for the area we're actually in. You know what they say about say what happens when you back a wild animal into a corner, don't you? That animal is likely to do something desperate and crazy. Well, the Manimals are those wild animals, figuratively and literally. They are determined to make war on the peaceful Manimals of New Gornige. And though we've made great strides in stopping them, all that did was strengthen their resolve to do something terrible. That's why we have to act while those savage Manimals are vulnerable. Go take out as many as you can, technical issues, and while you're at it, collect the primitive tools they are using to make war against the peaceful Manimals of New Gornage. I was just wondering whether that was a backwards word, but it doesn't look like it is. Jinrog would be Gornage backwards. Curious alliance. You have developed a reputation as a warrior who is both honorable and formidable. There are those who in need of your talents. Go north to the peaceful Manimal village of New Gornage and seek out its leader, Father Elk. He is located north of the Bureau 17 outpost. There you will find a group of Manimals who are not evil, Manimals rebelling against Moreau's cruelty, who want nothing more than to be free to live a better life. That madman Moreau creates his Manimal beasts in the filthiest of conditions. Many of the escapees are now diseased. Fortunately, the scientists of the Until Labs were able to work out a vaccine for those unfortunate creatures. They are located right outside of Bureau 17, of the Bureau F-17 outpost to the northwest. Rout the raiders. The champions are sworn to defend the helpless, whether human, extraterrestrial, or manimal. Here in Monster Island, the gentle man-animal hybrids of New Gornage are persecuted by the wild raider manimals from Malzver. These raiders manimals are lurking around the outskirts of New Gornage, which is north of the Bureau 17 outpost. Yeah, okay, we get it. Fucking... it's all here. Mission from this person. Welcome to the Feral Tangle, pal. I specialize in corporate espionage, but because of a bureaucratic snafu, I got assigned to a neighborhood of Manimals. Can you believe it? I don't even have pets. High-ranking Until agent assigned to monitor Manimal activity in the Feral Tangle region of Monster Island. Good friends with the superhero Ironclad. Some speculate that they are more than just friends. So she is average human height, I assume, more or less. And he is, well, a head taller than me. More than that. Maybe that's why you got reassigned here. Hey? Maybe you're a size queen. I'm glad I caught you, technical issues. I'm leaving soon to investigate recent Viper activity on a small island off of the coast of Africa. Evidence suggests they are up to something big, and my Project Snake Charmer team could use your help. If you are interested, please go to Until HQ in Millenium City. Major Kwame is there. She can give you a more detailed briefing and arrange transportation. Hope to see you at the base camp. Okay, so I'm not going to do that because Project Snake Charmer is quite a long mission, and I have made mention of it before. I thought that it took place in the jungles of South America. I didn't realize it was just Africa, Congo probably, that sort of region. But this actually does seem to be taking place on Monster Island, so cool. Argent sent a bunch of captors to take down Manimals and drop them into their wildlife preserve, where the Manimals are hunted for sport. Have you ever heard of anything so cruel? We need to stop the Argent captors before I get any more angry letters from animal rights activists. Yes. That's the worst thing that'll happen. Not sapient beings hunted for sport and killed. The Argent camp is located north of Malsver and south of the animal graveyard on top of the mountain ridge. Now, I wonder whether these droids have any information. Mechanized manservants of Japanese research organization known as Bureau 17. These unfortunate automatons are all too often reprogrammed for evil. When the force shields are up on this cagey contraption, engage another enemy. So that's a hint at the end there that basically entirely assumes that we're going to have to fight these guys at some point. The incredible energy blast from this appliance of annihilation is designed to take on entire armies, brace for impact, or bypass the burst. That last suggestion doesn't actually work because attacks in this are homing. You can move out of the way, and an attack with a physical projectile will still follow you. Did that do the thing? It did! Splendid. Laboratory creations of the sadistic outlaw geneticist Philip Moreau. These vicious man-animal hybrids are fiercely loyal to their cruel creator. Watch out for the headbutt of this barbarous buck. You mess with the stag animal, you get the horns. Except that was a bird, not an animal. Not a stag. This is a bird, and it looks like they only wrote an extra warning for stag animals. Let's see if there's a warning here. No, okay. That's pretty shoddy. Are you gonna have a warning for... Oh no, okay. block the ground smash of this grotesque grizzly, or you might find its incessant attacks more than you can bear. Yeah, okay. This kitty has claws. Okay, so not all of them are entirely shoddy. But still, the fact that the birds and the rats have exactly the same warning as the stags is something that could so easily have been avoided. Oh right, I'm supposed to be... That probably wasn't in time. I'm supposed to be curing these guys. Fucking come on. There we go. No, that wasn't in time either, was it? Alright, this will be though. An Until agent who's been working deep cover to get a better look at Argent's operation on Monster Island. I have some critical information on Argent that needs to go straight to the top. I know I'm dressed like one of Argent's goons, but I'm actually an undercover Until agent. I was sneaking away to deliver this report on Argent's operations when those Manimals attacked me. I need to get back before somebody at Argent notices I'm gone. Can you make sure this report gets through? Yes. Can I cure these guys? Doesn't look like it. Okay, they don't count. Now these are the stags. Or rabid stags, in fact. And these guys actually will. Wouldn't it be the most hilarious thing if they had a different warning? Or warning for the wrong animal. So these guys will charge at you. Somehow running in midair. Surprised he's not charging. I mean, it makes life easier, but surprised he didn't jump at us. He's going for it. Oh cool, managed to get one. I thought that I was in time to get this one, but apparently not. Man, those counter-agent guys are smart, aren't they? Shoot the living taser with a taser. Yeah, that'll go well, won't it? No, not in time, and this won't recharge quickly enough for me to get that last one. Alright. Yeah, I think that guy was reacting just to the fact that we're a superhero. Like, maybe we're famous enough by now that we're recognizable on sight, or maybe we're supposed to be dressed in, like, brightly colored swimwear, the standard superhero garb. So, we are recognizably superheroes. What's this? You've discovered that the infected rat manimals are the source of the rabies plaguing the manimals in the feral tangle. Use the altered vaccine on the infected rat manimals to put an end to the plague. Of course, those diseased rats will be tough to catch. You will probably need to subdue them before taking using the vaccine. These infected creatures are lurking to the west of New Gornage, which is north of the Bureau 17 outpost. Alright, we're supposed to be defeating Argent dudes, aren't we? But this isn't a very big area, and we're supposed to do 12 of them. There he is again. We have worked with Until before, quite a lot. And I don't know how much Until stuff we were supposed to have done by this point. But maybe we're supposed to have done enough that Until members can just recognize us on sight. We're certainly not dressed like Argent dudes or anything. So we're after infected rats. Can I just hit him with the cure now? Apparently not. Has to wait until he's on the ground. These guys do a really annoying thing where they apply a debuff to you that spawns several other rats. I need to remember to take them out first so that they don't just keep doing that. It's handy that they become friendly once you cure them as well. How many do I need to do? One more. Cool. Now we have route the raiders. And there's actually an open world event going on here as well to take out raiders. Well, the first of the missions is to take out raiders. Wow, ouch. Didn't realise quite how many of them there were hanging out, stacked on top of one another there. It's awkward. Ooh, oh jeez. Hello. Oh, and you've just taken out my flight power. Ouch. One of the many leaders of over the Manimals created by Dr. Moreau. Although I don't think that you actually see this asshole again. Can I even do anything to defeat this guy? Ouch, jeez. not a frontline fighter. Leave me alone. Stop that. Sure, keep screaming at me, Karen. Fucking, can somebody else help? No, not you. No, block. Jesus, I was pressing the fucking button. Who's attacking me? This guy. And of course Chimera has healed right back up again. Don't just face the other way, asshole. That's not gonna make it go away. You're a fat lot of help as well, aren't you? I fucking pressed that button. No, god damn it. Really quite like it if I could come and tell Ironclad, one of the world's greatest superheroes, that I need a bit of help. with an asshole that's impossible for me to kill. Oh, he's seen me again. But he won't follow me. Oh no, he's still interested. What the fuck does he keep hitting me with that keeps turning off my fucking flight power? No, apparently he's not stupid enough to follow me all the way over here. Or maybe he is. Come on, help. Come on, Ironclad, do something. Yeah, he definitely needs someone tanking him, keeping the threat whilst I shoot him. Hey, you've noticed. Wonderful. He can't keep a threat from it. I'm glad you've lost interest immediately. Stop interrupting me, nullhead. Now the real question is, will defeating him over here count towards the outside mission over at what's it called? Stop that. Ugh. Wow, that's irritating. If his health is reset, I am going to be upset. It hasn't. Fucking fantastic. Oh, whoops. She's been defeated. Wouldn't it be awkward if Ironclad had the highest damage? Nope, just me. I'm the only one that counts. Well, I wouldn't go so far as to claim that that was easy, but it does appear that through cheesing you can solo it. As a squishy ranged character with no defensive abilities to speak of. So what information does this have for the free? Exactly the same information as for any other Manimal. Great. You couldn't even come up with the ones that... You couldn't even come up with different information for the Manimals that explicitly don't follow Moreau. That's fucking lazy. I am so very pleased to meet you, hero, or to see you, hero. Moreau has treated us abominably. With you on our side, perhaps we can bring his cruel and unusual experiments to an end. Maybe? I don't know. Man-animal hybrid creation of Dr. Moreau, who rebelled against his master and is now leader of the peaceful Manimal village New Gornage. In addition to the ever-present threat of Moreau, the New Gornage animals have to contend with the nearby settlement Malsver, full of warlike, aggressive Manimals. Omnivore beatdown. The boneyard to the west is glutted with scavenger Manimals who feast on the bodies of my fallen comrades. Please, we are Manimals, not animals. Do not let rampant cannibalism continue unchecked, hero. The boneyard is located west of the Bureau 17 outpost camp, and the cannibals are on the middle tier. It is a sad tale, friend. Many of my elk brethren fell in battle and were cast to the boneyard to the east, to the west. No, the east would be the sea. The barbarous Manimals of Malsver use the antlers to craft weapons. They can be found scattered along one of the first tiers in the animal graveyard, which is west of the Bureau 17 outpost. Please help. These Manimals were my family and were dear to me. That was probably a deliberate bad pun at the end there, wasn't it? I don't think those Manimal savages are going to bothering us anytime soon. That's missed to be, hasn't it? Not with heroes like you on the job. Technical issues. Ratman fever. Well, that is one less thing inhabitants of Monster Island have to worry about. Until more rat Manimals are created with rabies and come out of the lab and then start infecting people. But sure. Oops, forgot to read that. What might you exhibit on the battlefield, human? Still, I wonder how you would fare in the Phi Cassiopeia, my home galaxy. The key to victory is identifying your enemy's weakness and exploiting it. My, you are a hearty warrior. You would make a superb gladiator. Well, I don't know about that. Well, when I first started playing this, that was the first time I'd ever streamed, and I knew that I would be having technical difficulties or technical issues with the stream, and it occurred to me that it would be a rather good joke and kind of in the spirit of the whole aesthetic of the game, and that's also why she has electrical powers, because I couldn't think of any better power set for a hero named after technical issues. Be very careful around Malsver, the village of the savage Manimals. They've set traps made of sharpened stakes all around their village. If you aren't careful, every step you take could be your last. It's a good thing I fly then, isn't it? Destroy some of those traps so the Manimals loyal to Father Elk can sneak their way into the village. Most of the traps are located just east of Malsver. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? And she's respawned. Jolly good. No worries. I mean, they're more or less the same thing. I was having technical difficulties and technical issues. On one instance, the game just didn't show anything to OBS, so I was playing for half an hour with a completely blank screen, with just me in the corner talking, until someone mentioned it and I sorted it out. This report should prove very enlightening, and I am going to make sure your fine work will be noted in your until file. Not that we're keeping tabs on you or anything. I knew it! We are recognized by Until. That's how he knew that we were trustworthy. Nice work, technical issues. Now you understand why I despise Argent so much. Nice one. That takes us to do a huge long mission starting in Millennium City, so we'll ignore it. Not all the Manimals Argent collects are brought back to their wildlife preserve. Some are tagged with subdermal tracking devices and released, so Argent can more easily kidnap more of them when the tagged Manimals rejoin their packs. Let's put a stop to this. Knock the tagged bear Manimals out and collect their... Bears don't run in packs, they're solitary. I mean, you might be able to convince me that cat Manimals have packs because, you know, lions go in packs, but not bears. Literally any other of the Manimal types would have been a better suggestion. Like, birds, they go in flocks. Rats, they go in... I don't know what the collective term for a rat is, but they do go around. They are social creatures. Cats could convincingly have an argument made for being social. Stags, also, they go in herds, but not bears. These bears are wandering around the west of the Bureau 17 compound, close to the mountain range that separates Malsver and the graveyard. Okay. It's just occurred to me that you could, using the character creation options in the game, you could come up with a fairly convincing Winnie the Pooh character. Although quite what powers they would use, I wouldn't begin to guess, because, like, what would Winnie the Pooh do in combat? Throw pots of honey at people? So, like, what would that look like? There aren't a lot of control powers in the game, at least, like, a lot of the separate power sets do have one or two control options in them. Mental and magic have the most, I think. But there isn't really enough to build a full control set around. And even if there was, the thing about the way that control works in this game is each time you use a control power on an enemy, they gain a control resist buff that makes subsequent control powers less effective. So, like, it's not really a viable strategy. I mean, all the control powers do also do damage. Some of them damage over time. But it's not like control strats and builds in other games. Like, it's not as effective. What am I supposed to be doing here? Collecting antlers. And just generally defeating cannibal Manimals. Other than that, I suppose, without going for specialist like control powers for a Winnie the Pooh build, you could just make him a pretty generic bear. Like, there are plenty of well, there are two main options for just melee beatdowns. Like, you could make a super punchy type bear, or you could use powers that use bite and claw attacks. You can probably even create a fairly decent approximation of the weird proportions that Winnie the Pooh has, because you can control leg length and arm length, and, well, not so much stomach size, because there isn't really a slider to add a very large round stomach. You can make the hips very, very wide, and by increasing the overall body size, you can make... What am I after? I'm after antlers, aren't I? I've collected one so far. You can make the character just very, very chunky. Well, you can make male characters very, very chunky. Yes, you could put a t-shirt or something on the top half, and well, I say no trousers. It would still be like fully covered with fur. You could recolor the skin and the fur and match that color on the lower half, I suppose. Once I've done this mission, I'll log out this character and I'll see about coming up with a Winnie the Pooh character. I could even put I could probably even put a top hat and monocle on him, and the top half of a tuxedo, and make him Posh Winnie. Alright. I keep mistaking these for bits of branch. And there's also stuff like this, bits of bone sticking out of the earth, which is also misleading and not helpful. Oh, it's pulled these guys. I wasn't quite sure whether he was on his own or whether he was in a group, and if he was in a group, where they were, where the rest of them were. There we go. So it looks like there used to be a pretty big fence around part of this area. So we'll need to be male. Let's go with claw attacks because he's a bear. You don't actually want to be near a bear because they will pull you apart with their claws and teeth. So he'll probably want to be strength and constitution. Protector. Dexterity will improve crit hit chance. I don't think presence would be helpful. Recovery would be, so let's go with the protector. And then the thing you can do with body mass is make them absolutely fucking enormous. Should Winnie the Pooh be as small as we can make him? Or should he be absolutely gigantic? There's also the waist. He wants to be... So like that is as close to like a fat tummy as we can give him. Yeah, true. Well, 4'6" is as small as we can make him without reducing his leg length, which we can also do. So I don't know how big this actually makes him. That's probably... He's probably in the 3 foot something range at this point. Arms, arm length. Give him chunky legs. I mean, we could just give it all maximum chunk. There should be chest length. Yeah, there we go. Let's make his chest shorter. This looks very weird. And we can make his chest bigger, but that doesn't really make him look much like a bear, does it? So chest depth, that's probably fine. Makes him look chunkier. And then beasts and monsters, but still with the human hairstyle. Very nice. Let's get rid of that, we don't need it. I suppose that's probably closer, isn't it? But that's the actual, like, wild bear head. Yeah, I suppose he's pear-shaped in all the art, but that just looks fucking weird. So I'm going to leave him like that. Oh, these are just different types of ears and horns. No. Top accessory. Crests. Fins. Spikes. But headwear. Oh no, that's not good, is it? Would it work with the second bear head? Well, that's a little bit better, isn't it? It doesn't really look much like... It's a teddy bear head, not... And it doesn't look like the Winnie the Pooh... Whoops. Of the art. So, I think... Where's the top at? No, that still isn't better, is it? Give him a traffic cone. But that's not really... That's a little bit better. Eye accessory. Would the... Oh, you can see the eyebrows poking through. That's not good. Eye accessory. Can we give him a monocle? No, not really. They're in the wrong place. Like, the monocle is here, but it's not visible. So, let's remove it. Now, we should give him more or less the right skin color. Oh no, that's eye accessory, isn't it? I want head. Bear with eyes, wild bear with eyes. Let's go with that. Winnie the Pooh's eyes are black, I think, aren't they? Oh, is that? Oh, that's what the skin color would be. What skin color does? Oh, what's Winnie the Pooh's nose? Like, it's been ages since I've actually looked at Winnie the Pooh. Like, I know I've seen the memes recently, but I haven't really looked at them. I just go, haha, I agree with that. Black nose. Okay. Get rid of the belt. Legs. Do we have animal fur? We've got alien muscle, which we might be able to recolor to be convincingly fur. That could be fur if you squint, couldn't it? Feet. Bear paws. No, that should be the other way around. Hands, bear. And then jackets, I think. Or maybe not. Give him a tunic in red. And then if I give him skin, Is there an animal fur? Skin bear. Not really. I mean, there's simian, but that's... and tiger. Doesn't really give it texture, does it? Let's try tight and alien muscle again. Bands around the arms are a bit awkward, but which way around did we do the legs? Light, dark. And we can make him furrier. Beast mane. Oh, maybe it doesn't show up so well. Yeah, he's definitely on something. He found the special honey. Oh, did I use the wrong colour? I did. And we can definitely make his legs furrier. Oh, hip fur pad. That doesn't look so good, does it really? I swear there's a... furry leg option. Is it foot accessories? Fur. Even more fur. Well, that's really if you're using a digitigrade leg. So let's not. None. We can give him. Ooh, a long furry loincloth, or where would it be? Tribal fur with skulls. Just to add to the fluffiness. But I don't know. I think maybe the way it looks without is fine. But we probably can give him big furry shoulders. No, that looks daft. There we go. Is there maybe some kind of crop top option? That's exactly the same thing we've already got. Beast mane, so it doesn't appear to do anything. Chains, shoulder pad. No. Winnie the Pooh in a corset. That's not... That doesn't really go down far enough to be a crop top, does it? Fur... Wow. Fur pelt. That doesn't really help. That looks too much like armor. That might do. Kevlar vests. Kevlar vests might be a good option. Just a polo shirt. I mean, these are kind of crop tops, but they're very obviously armor. That doesn't really help. Spartan armor. Big old spikes. And that's what we had already. Or a bulky tunic. But Pooh's crop top's kind of loose, but it's not really bulky like that. And he's not wearing a vest or anything, is he? And then vines. There's lots of vine options for like braces, shoulder pads, leg armor, calf armor. There's head options. There's loads and loads of vine stuff that you can actually make yourself look almost entirely like a tree. But there aren't really any that might be the closest we're going to get, except we'd probably want to get rid of the furry shoulder stuff because it kind of interferes. And let's get rid of the beast mane as well. There's still a lot of fur poking out the front, but at least it looks like a bear in a red crop top. Yeah, I think this is attached to the head option, so I can't actually get rid of it. Although there is a bandana that I could color red that would cover it up. And when you're at a distance, it doesn't really show up that much. What's this clipping through here? I can't tell. Alright. So what's his name? Is it Penny the Woo? Oops. I've hit the caps lock. There we go. And now, as a tiny character, who still needs to run at exactly the same speed as anyone else, my limbs really go for it. Especially if I had a running or super speed travel power. Okay, I think that's enough for tonight. Thank you for coming by and watching me be very silly for a while. I appreciate everyone that has come and watched. And I shall see you again on Monday from 8 to 11 GMT.